السلام عليكم. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Today's topic is about the importance of knowledge in our religion, especially the knowledge to fear and respect Allah Azza wa Jal. And to show the importance of knowledge, there is a very popular and common dua that Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam would always say is Rabbi zidni ilma. This shows the appreciation that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would always show for knowledge and how much he would request it and need it and love it. And there's this hadith that also explains how knowledge can be a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal. And the hadith from Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasallam goes like this. The similitude of that guidance and knowledge with which Allah, the Exalted and Glorious, has sent me is that of rain falling upon the earth. There is a good piece of land which receives the rainfall eagerly, and as the result of it, there will grow herbage and grass in it. Then there is land that's hard and barren, which retains the water, and the people derive benefit from it, and they drink it, or they make the animals drink from it. Then there is land which is barren. Neither water is retained in it, nor the grass is grown in it. And that is the similitude of the first one who develops the understanding of the religion of Allah, and it becomes a source of benefit from a source of benefit to him, with which Allah has sent to him. So basically, he's giving the comparison of the first guy who takes in the knowledge and it grows in him. It's similar to the land that takes the water and returns plants and herbage. Then you have the second type, which acquires the knowledge, he keeps it with him, and then he gives it to the others around him. So the second one who acquires the knowledge of the religion and imparts it to others. Then you have the third type, who does not pay attention to this knowledge, to this revealed knowledge, and does not accept the guidance of Allah with which I have sent. So here we are shown three types of people. The three of them received this blessing, knowledge, but each one dealt with it differently. And this shows that knowledge can be a blessing, and we have to know how to deal with it. And of course, there's different types of knowledge. You have ilmun nafi' and ilmun darir. So ilm that is beneficial for you, and ilm that can hurt you. If you spend a lot of time with ilm that is not beneficial for you, then it will keep you away from Allah Azza wa Jal. An example of this is, for example, the theory of evolution or the gender theories. All of these are also knowledge, and you can study them and spend a lot of time with them, but they will not benefit you in anything. An example of useful knowledge is, and it will be the topic of today's khutbah mainly, is ilm al-khishya, the knowledge to understand and to fear Allah Azza wa Jal and respect Him. And to show the importance of ilm al-khishya, there's this ayah in Surah Al-Fatir 28. Of all of Allah's servants, only the knowledgeable of His might are truly in awe of Him. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. And so this explains that, and this, by the way, this is not only talking about people with a lot of knowledge, like scholars who spent years of studying. This is also applied for people who might have even known a simple ayah or a hadith. Any bit of knowledge that you have can be useful for you to increase your faith and fear from Allah Azza wa Jal. And there's one point that has to be clear here, is that knowing Allah and understanding who Allah is crucial to apply the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, and these two are not the same thing. So when you know Allah, you understand who He is, and you know His status, His might, His capabilities, all the things He can achieve. And so, for example, knowing the rules simply means knowing your obligations and your rights. And if you want to apply the rules in an easier way, or you really want to be consistent with the rules, you have to understand who Allah Azza wa Jal is. Think about it similarly to for example, let's say doing your taxes. Are we so careful while doing our taxes? We do them with precision and we go over them many times. It's because we understand in this scenario who we were dealing with. We're dealing with the government and there can be negative consequences, etc. So you put a lot of effort into doing your taxes in a very good way and making sure that everything is right. And another thing that I want to explain is also understanding who you're dealing with will change your behavior. So here's an example. Let's say you're playing with a little kid, a cousin or brother or whatever. And this kid gets angry at you, you know how kids are, and they'll tell you, if you do this again, I'll punch you. What will your reaction be? You see, it's a small kid, so you're probably gonna give him a few taps on the back and laugh it off. You're not gonna take him seriously. But then imagine the same situation, but instead of the kid, now it's a man. Let's say Mike Tyson. You all know Mike Tyson is a very strong guy. He can hurt you. He's a good boxer. How will your reaction be after this threat? You will probably be scared, worried that he can hurt you. Now, in the same situation, you have two different reactions. Why did this happen? Because you looked at the person you're dealing with, and you thought, this kid, he's no threat for me. I know him. I know what he's capable of. But you looked at the other guy and you said, this guy can hurt me. So there's a contrast between the two, and this is the importance of knowledge here. So when you understand the status of Allah Azza wa Jal, His capabilities, the way He can punish you and the way He can reward you, then your behavior will change towards Allah Azza wa Jal when it comes to applying His rules and doing your obligations and etc. And the point here is not only, it's also to remember that yes, we must fear Allah, but that at the same time we love Him as well. So this fear comes from respect and admiration and reverence. So they're both important because we know that He can punish us, but we also know that He can reward us greatly. And another thing that we have to understand is, back to the idea of knowledge, is whenever knowledge is basically retaining something new whenever you observe something, right? Or hear it or whatever. So when you're studying, you're basically studying the creation because we have sciences, right? We have biology, physics, but all of that is the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. So when you're studying these things, you have to understand that they remind you of the Creator. You have to keep that in mind. And ilm al-khishya, the knowledge of the fear, having fear and respect toward Allah, or from Allah, sorry, is to see Allah in everything you do, whether it's studying sciences or studying the Quran or studying the Hadith. So everything that is created inherently exhibits, it reflects the abilities and attributes of its creator. So, for example, when you look at the sky, you should think how you should be reminded of the abilities and attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is another example that I can give. It will show you my idea more clearly. Let's say you see this new supercar. It's a very nice car from Bugatti, okay? But I'm not a car guy. I don't really understand about cars that much. I look at the car, I look at it, okay, it's a nice car, and I continue my day normally. But then, let's say I have a bit more knowledge about cars. I'm gonna look at this Bugatti or this supercar, and I'm gonna say, oh, it has a top speed of this. It has an interior of this, price, etc. You're gonna look deeper into it, the specification, and then you're gonna start thinking, this is a very nice car. So you look here, your admiration for the car is trying to increase. And then you're also gonna think, oh, well, the company that did this car did a very good job. I'm also admired by the company or the engineer that worked on this. So this is the idea that we must have while, for example, looking at the sky, looking at the sea, looking at the kusuf. We have to always keep in mind that this was made by a creator. It didn't come from nothing. And by increasing our knowledge about the creation, we will also admire Allah Azza wa Jal and love Him and respect Him even more. And one thing I want to also mention is that, especially for the younger generations, right now school is over, we're in the summer break. But this, some people might think that knowledge is only obtained in school. So when it's summer, they'll stop the idea of obtaining knowledge. They'll focus all their free times on entertainment or whatever. But this is wrong. As I said in the beginning, the Prophet ﷺ always said, "Rabbi zidni ilma." It was a constant thing throughout all of his life. He always seeked knowledge. So yes, you're right. You can, now it's summertime, it's nice outside, you can spend time with your friends and enjoy your time, but you should also still make time to increase your knowledge, whether it's in religion, sciences, or whatever it is. Just make sure to increase your knowledge while keeping Allah Azza wa Jal in your mind. Because as I mentioned, even if you try to study, for example, let's say you decide to increase your knowledge in biology. You open the biology book and you find this section about embryology, basically the fetus and how the child is made inside is created inside the mother. Or developed inside the mother. So when you read this, maybe the first thing that will come to your mind is how the Quran already mentions this. The Quran already talks about how the fetus forms inside of the mother and how it looks, the shape of it, etc. So this is an example where there's an overlap between the science, the biology that you're learning at school, and our religion. This is also a way that it transcends, like there's a bridge between the science and the religion. These are not two separate things like a lot of people here think. They'll say, oh, I believe in science, as if it's something separate. They're together, and whatever is said in the Quran about science, oftentimes with time we see that it's true. Like for example, the theory of the expansion. This is something in the expansion of the world. This is a recent theory that's been worked on in physics, but we've realized that it's already there in the Quran, and people just don't mention it enough. And just to conclude, I have 3 announcements to make. So tomorrow, inshallah, we'll have our monthly event, like the one from last month. This is for everyone from the secondaire and up. Everybody's welcome. And there will be special guests, food, prizes. So you're all welcome to come. And the second announcement is there's also a reunion at the Madani Mosque from on the 5th, 6th, and the 7th of July. There will be a sheikh there, and you have the chance to go there and have a opportunity to live an Islamic life, because you'll spend the 3 days with a sheikh over there. And the last announcement is we will be starting as of next month. We will have a weekly courses, 3 type of courses: Quran, Hadith, and Arabic to read the Quran. And the Quran is mostly Jaza Amma. So more details will follow on these tomorrow, inshallah. You'll have a detailed program, and so you're all welcome to come. That's it for me. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. Please stand up, come forward.